A list of 40 transgender poets and writers. Ryka Aoki, a Japanese-American transgender poet, performer, and writer. Her works include Seasonal Velocities and Why Dust Shall Never Settle Upon This Soul. Cheng Thom, in addition to being mentioned previously for her work as a transgender poet, Thom is also recognized for her poetry collection A Place Called No Homeland. Andrea Gibson, a non-binary poet and spoken word artist whose work often explores themes of love, gender, and social justice. Notable collections include Pole Dancing to Gospel Hymns and Lord of the Butterflies. Alok Vaidmenon, a gender non-conforming writer, performance artist, and poet. Alok's poetry often addresses issues of identity, beauty standards, and activism. Joy Ladin, an American poet and the first openly transgender professor at an Orthodox Jewish institution. Ladin's works include Through the Door of Life, a Jewish journey between genders, and Fireworks in the Graveyard. Kit Yan, a transgender spoken word artist and playwright known for works like Queer Heartache and Miss Oriental. Cameron Awkward Rich, a transgender poet and assistant professor of women, gender, sexuality studies. Awkward Rich's collections include Sympathetic Little Monster and Dispatch. June Jordan, while mentioned earlier for her work as a lesbian poet, June Jordan also explored issues of gender and identity in her poetry. T. Fleischman, a non-binary writer and poet. Their works include Syzygy, Beauty, an essay, and Time is a Thing the Body Moves Through. T.C. Tolbert, a transgender poet and teacher known for collections like Jepheromania and Troubling the Line, Trans and Genderqueer Poetry and Poetics, co-edited with Trace Peterson. Trace Peterson, a transgender poet and editor, Peterson's poetry collection Since I Moved In explores themes of identity and transition. They are also known for co-editing Troubling the Line, Trans and Genderqueer Poetry and Poetics. Olivia Gatwood, a transgender poet and spoken word performer known for her collection Life of the Party and her powerful performances addressing gender, sexuality, and womanhood. Roz Caveney, a British transgender poet, novelist, and critic. Caveney's poetry often touches on issues of identity and societal expectations. Stacey Waite, a transgender poet and professor, Waite's works include Choke and Butch Geography, exploring themes of gender, desire, and identity. Alyssa A. Lappin, a transgender poet and author known for her collection A Minefield of Dreams, Triumphs and Travails of Independent Writing and Publishing. Toby Campion, a non-binary poet and performer whose work often delves into personal experiences, relationships, and identity. Jordy Rosenberg, a transgender writer, professor, and author of the novel Confessions of the Fox. While not primarily a poet, Rosenberg's work engages with themes of gender and history. Joss Charles, a transgender poet and author known for her collection Field, which explores language, identity, and the experience of being transgender. Ely Shipley, a transgender poet and professor whose works include the poetry collection Boy with Flowers and Some Animal. Eileen Myles, previously mentioned as a lesbian poet, Myles also identifies as genderqueer and has written extensively about gender and identity. Their collection Chelsea Girls is widely acclaimed. Ulanday Barrett, a trans, queer, and disabled poet, performer, and educator known for works like When the Chant Comes. Riley McLeod, a transgender poet and writer whose work often explores themes of identity, family, and self-discovery. Eli Clare, a transgender poet, essayist, and activist whose work, including Exile and Pride and the Marrow's Telling, often intersects with disability justice and environmentalism. Luther Hughes, a queer, Black, and Filipino poet and founder of Shade Literary Arts. His poetry collection, Touched, explores themes of identity and desire. Gabriel Garcia Roman, a visual artist and poet whose work often explores queer and transgender experiences, race, and history. Chris Vitiello, a transgender poet, critic, and artist known for his collections Irresponsibility and Obedience. Trish Salah, a transgender poet and writer whose work often engages with themes of identity, migration, and gender. Her collection Lyric Sexology is notable. E. Parker Phillips, a non-binary poet and writer exploring themes of identity, love, and the natural world. Their work has been featured in various literary journals. Imogen Binnie, a transgender author and poet, best known for her novel Nevada. While not primarily a poet, her writing addresses transgender experiences with depth and insight. A. Catherine Black, a transgender poet, essayist, and editor whose work often explores themes of identity, transition, and queerness. Cooper Lee Bombardier, a transgender writer, poet, and visual artist known for exploring themes of gender, identity, and queerness. His collection Pass with Care delves into personal narratives. Sid Nova, a transgender poet and artist whose work often centers on themes of self-discovery, queerness, and social justice. Alok Mishra, an Indian transgender poet and writer, known for his poetry collection The Other Side of Life. Noah Dvarsdal, a transgender poet and writer whose work addresses themes of identity, mental health, and resilience. Rachel Allen, a British poet and editor, Allen's work often engages with the exploration of identity, gender, and desire. Her poetry collection is titled Kingdom Land. C. Russell Price, a transgender poet whose work delves into themes of masculinity, identity, and the body. Their collection is titled Tonight, We Fucked the Trailer Park Out of Each Other. H. Melt, a transgender poet, artist, and activist known for their collection The Plural, The Blurring. Joy L. Smith, a transgender poet and writer whose work explores themes of identity, family, and personal growth. Amber Dawn, a Canadian writer, poet, and memoirist. Dawn's work often deals with themes of trauma, survival, and sexuality. Her poetry collection is titled Where the Words End and My Body Begins. Kokomo, a Nigerian-born, British-raised poet and performer whose work addresses themes of gender, identity, and the intersectionality of Black queer experiences.